LFR75 will begin momentarily, but first, a word from Jim Playfair. Okie dokie.
You ready? Big news. What? Whoosh. Seriously?
No pigs yet.
What? What was he doing? Wow. Bring him on. Beautiful.
That was me making fun of Jim Playfair's little incident in the AHL. If you want to see the actual video, in the description. But on to the NHL, the Leafs win 3-2 against the New York Rangers in overtime. The playoff march continues, sorta. Because if they always played the way they do in March, they'd make the playoffs, but unfortunately we forgot about the other 5 months of the season. And with the win, the Leafs improved to 9-4-1 in the month of March, and the Rangers are just the latest victims of Spoiler Fest 2010. And what makes it even worse for the Rangers is they gave up a 2-goal lead. Jonas Gustafsson stopped 36 of 38 shots. Unfortunately, the 2 he let past him were awful. P.A. Parento scores just his second goal of the season on a shot that didn't really look like it was going to be a shot. With his back turned to Gustafsson, he just kind of got the puck and rah! And just as the period was ending, Brandon Dubinsky scores on a wraparound. Another ugly goal. And I don't know what happened between the first and second period, but I think someone showed the Leafs that it was March. And they come out guns a-blazing in the second. Mikhail Grabovski circles the net, gives a beautiful feed to John Mitchell, and it's 2-1. And while we're here, let's talk about the sideshow of the game. Sean Avery versus Dion Phaneuf. Now, at one point, Dion Phaneuf lined Avery up and almost knocked him back into his Dallas Stars uniform, but he just missed. They got into a little skirmish in front of the net at one point, and he just shoved Avery down. At one point, Avery managed to get an interference call on Phil Kessel with a beautiful dive. An unnamed person in the press box gave his dive an 8.5. I asked him, he said it was good, but he didn't really have his arms straight, and he lost marks for that. So let's make that one of the questions of the game. Rate Sean Avery's dive out of 10. I'm going to go ahead and give him an 8 because, hey, he did manage to draw the penalty. Bonus points for getting the refs to fall for the same crap over and over again, and a couple bonus points for the damsel in distress face he made on the way down. Luckily for the Leafs and unfortunately for the Rangers, Luke Schenn makes contact with Avery. His knee awkwardly hits the boards. He tries to put some weight on it, and no mas, he's out of the game. Oh, Avery's out of the game? That's a shame. You think we can maybe, talk about hockey now? Gustafsson and Lundqvist exchange big saves for the rest of the game until how much the Leafs fans begged Thomas Kaberle to shoot the puck. And that's one of the goals he scores. Shoots from a horrible angle. You couldn't score a goal that badly in a video game, but hey, the Leafs tie it up and bring it to overtime. And a win in this game would give Jonas Gustafsson a 7-game winning streak, and 5 of those games would be in extra time. And I guess that means he owes Kulemin a gift because early in overtime, Nikolai Kulemin buries it, and the Leafs complete the comeback, 3-2 win. And after the game, Henrik Lundqvist was upset. So let's talk about reporters. After the game, Don Cherry was talking about, oh, these suck reporters and their questions. Basically, a reporter asked, can you sum up the emotion being 3:35 away from a win? To which Lundqvist responded, and he actually did a pretty good job of containing his emotions until he dropped a couple F-bombs. And as a 22-year-old who has some reporting experience, but not a whole lot, I'm not about to criticize this reporter. I'm only going to say what I heard in sports broadcasting class. And it wasn't just any lecturer that day. We actually had Bob Weeks come in from Score Golf. And what he basically wanted to emphasize to us is it's very easy to be complacent in sports journalism. Because some people, if they wanted to, they could just walk into the dressing room and ask questions like that all the time. And if you're just walking in there looking for a soundbite, well, I guess he got his. But what Bob Weeks basically said is, if you know the answer to a question before you ask it, you probably just shouldn't ask it. I mean, you can have an idea, but asking a guy, hey, how does it feel now knowing that it's basically impossible to make the playoffs, probably is going to get a hostile response. So I'm curious, I want you guys to be the reporter now. What would you have asked Henrik Lundqvist? Oh, and one last thing, speaking of media, guess what reporter was there? You've probably seen him on YouTube in his arguments with John Tortorella, the guy we know as Brooksy. I guess that's what I'm saying, Brooksy. Well, have you ever fought before? Yeah, that guy. I mean, the guy's got way more views on YouTube than I do. And that just caps off a great night for the Leafs. They improved to 9-4-1 in the month of March. Jonas Gustafsson wins his 7th straight game, and the Leafs win 3-2. Peace out. Damn it.